Good morning. It's another beautiful day. We are hustling and bustling today. We have, I believe, 3 jobs to get to. One, we have to get to that 370Z from yesterday and now properly diagnose it. After that, we have to diagnose a no start on a Volkswagen Tiguan. Excuse me. Then we're gonna go do that intake valve control solenoid job on the Jeep Cherokee with that's the one that was the customer that was very adamant about not paying the diagnostic fee. This will likely be my last time working for them. That's not how I like to do things. I have to try and get done by a certain time today because I have to pick up my daughter, and then I have to get to basketball practice where I coach. So we really got to be on top of it today and get stuff done on time. Sometimes things are out of your control and things happen that slow you down, but we have to try and control that as much as we can on days like today. So, we're on our way. It's currently 8:39 in the morning. We're off to a bad start because we left the house already probably about 10 minutes later than we should have. Let's get ready to have a great day. Like and subscribe. Let's get to work. So we are now a few minutes away from the 370Z with the intermittent no start. Should be able to properly diagnose it today. Let's see how that goes. I wanted to talk about, I had another customer contacting me while I was on the way here. It was something similar to the other customer. Well, they were giving a little bit of pushback about the diagnostic fee. And again, I want to open this up to discussion. Do you guys think I should be charging a diagnostic fee? People seem to have a problem with it. I think the reason they have a problem with it is that a lot of people or shops advertise that whatever you pay for the diagnostic fee will go into the work. So sometimes that's true, sometimes it's not. Here's my problem with that. Me being mobile, if I have to make a trip to diagnose the car, let's say it takes 30 minutes or an hour or whatever it may be, sometimes it even takes longer, then I have to leave. I have to come back with the part, whenever I come back, if it's that same day or wherever it is. Sometimes I'm able to fix stuff on the spot. Am I now supposed to have worked that time for free, or would you just like me to charge you for it with the repair? That doesn't seem like it's the same thing. I don't think it's fair for me to drive over there, diagnose the problem for free, then come back, get the part, drive there again, repair it, and then only charge you for the repair. That doesn't seem fair to me at all. It's a recurring theme these days, which is weird. I guess I turned on the camera and all of a sudden everybody has a problem with the diagnostic fee. Before this, nobody ever had a problem with it. I try to be fair. Let's say I charge a certain amount for hourly labor. If I go for a diagnosis and in the diagnosis I find, hey, this is maybe an easy fix I can find right here, I could fix right here, and it takes me 30 minutes to diagnose the car, 30 minutes to fix it, I kind of just charge you that 1 hour of labor. It's not like, I try to be fair, but I have to protect myself too. We have to be fair to me as well. We have to be fair to everybody, and I understand that sometimes people are struggling too. You don't know if I'm struggling. This customer, they have a car that is not starting, and then I told them diagnostic fee. They asked, oh, does that go towards work? I said, no, it doesn't. Then they said, oh, what if it's the alternator's reason it's not starting, or the part that went bad? Well, can you give me an estimate for that? Yes, I can give you an estimate for that. I gave them the estimate. Okay, will this be fixed the same day as the diagnosis? I said, well, here's the new estimate for if I had to fix it the same day, because the price I gave you was for a better price I found online. If we do it with parts I can find locally, this will be the price, this and that. And there was a lot of pushback about everything. I get it, and stuff is expensive, and it sucks when you get a car repair like that. Just, a bill hits you out of nowhere. But that's just the way it is. This is how I make a living. It's not fair to me to you know, give you a discount. And sometimes I do help people out, especially if I could tell that they're going through stuff or they're having a tough time. I do help people out. But you know, this is my job. This is how I make a living. Maybe I'll talk about that more later. But anyways, I'm here to do the diag on the 370Z. So see you later. So just got done with the 370Z, the intermittent, no start intermittent. I got to figure that out. Basically came to the same conclusions yesterday. You know, I checked a few things that it could have been. I ran it through battery, alternator, starter. Battery showed up slightly weak. Told him let's replace the battery. It also had a few codes that showed abnormal battery voltage. I think it's going to be that. You know, check the clutch switch. Clutch switch was working perfectly fine, although it's intermittent. So, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's not working perfectly fine all the time. I checked IPDM. Everything seemed to be working fine in the module for now. So I think for right now, we just, like I told him he said he's going to replace it himself. So he's going to replace the battery and we'll go from there. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. I told him if it happens, call me exactly when it happens and we'll try and figure it out then. You know, if I'm trying to figure out a problem that's not even there at the moment, it becomes increasingly more difficult. But yeah, so we move on. Now we have a 15-minute drive. We're gonna go diagnose a Volkswagen Tiguan. That Volkswagen, I think. I think the V is pronounced like a Volkswagen. We're gonna go diagnose that. No start. Told him I would get there at 11. Getting there a little bit earlier, which is good because I'm assuming he has to go somewhere. When he contacted me, he said as soon as possible. Let's see. We're gonna find out what it is. Get on with our day. Let's go.
I've been going out of my way for us, and I'm not okay.
About 5 minutes away from the Volkswagen diagnosis. Let you know how it goes. Hopefully it's something simple. We can get it resolved. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Almost missed my exit. Let's do it. I just got done with diagnosing the Volkswagen Tiguan. It's a weird one because not only is it a no start, it died while it was running. So died while it was running according to the codes on the scanner. I couldn't find anything that would shut it off while running, so it makes me think it was the alternator. But here's the kicker: it did have a code for engine starter performance. You know, it wouldn't even crank. I added a jump pack to it. I have a pretty strong jump pack. No, not even a crank. I tested the starter manually, no crank. So I don't know if maybe after the car shut down, they kept trying to crank it, and the starter got damaged. But I have to start by replacing the starter first, then I can diagnose if there's another problem. I'm sure there is, because it didn't die for no reason. And then I can diagnose why the car died while they were driving. The guy needed his car back ASAP, so you know, I'm gonna go pick the part up now, and I can't install it today. I don't have time to do it, but I'm gonna install it tomorrow. Once that's installed, I can get whatever the other problem is resolved quickly. The guy seems like he needs his car bad right now. You know, I squeezed this in. Right now it's about 11:07. I was supposed to be somewhere at 11. Now I'm going to be there about 11:20, 11:15. I squeezed this in because I finished with my other diagnosis a little bit early, and this guy seemed like he was in a really big rush, and I didn't have time. Presumably I didn't have time after my other job to get this done, so I squeezed this in between the two. Now I'm on my way to do that job, the intake valve control solenoid. You know, nothing. Got to get to work. We have to fix the starter before I can diagnose why it died in the first place. You know, something happened to that starter after that. Maybe, I'm guessing they just kept trying to crank it, and the starter gave out. Even trying to jump the starter manually, it didn't respond at all. So let's keep going to work. About to get now to the Jeep Cherokee. I think it's a Grand Cherokee job, the intake valve control solenoid. And yeah, we're a few minutes away. You know, I hope not to have any problems with this customer, and honestly, I probably won't work for this customer ever again. It's just a bad experience, and it's not the type of customers that I like to deal with. Maybe you're thinking that that's an overreaction. Maybe you're thinking that I should just prioritize the money, but sometimes there's things that are like in dating, right? They're red flags. That if this customer had a problem with me like that it was something so simple that nobody else has a problem with, and to me it seems extremely logical. Again, I want you guys to comment on that if you have a different opinion. You know, you can only imagine what type of problems are going to arise with this customer in the future. And if you haven't seen the entire situation where I explain that, it's in the vlog I posted on Monday, so 2 vlogs before this one. Yeah, I believe the title is something like I saved them from the wrong repair or something like that, and then this happened. So in that one you can get a background for the whole story. Maybe I'll include a clip here. I'm not sure if I'll do that. Hopefully everything goes well. I'm about to get here now, so let's go to work. Solenoid is on this valve cover. I take off the intake manifold and get it out, replace it, put everything back, clear codes, should be good to go. New solenoid, pre-bathed in oil. Take out the old one, put this one in. We're good to go. Put everything back together and we're done. All done with the Jeep. Placed the intake valve control solenoid, which is the only code it had in the computer. Yeah, it was a pending code. When I did the test drive, I went back in to clear it, see if it was still there. It wasn't even there anymore. So yeah, problem fixed. The car also was a little tiny bit laggy before. Cleared right up. It also was making a weird noise on startup. I'm not sure if it had to do with that, but it did seem like that noise got better. Not sure if that solenoid is activated on startup or not, but I guess it must be. The car's fixed, ready to go. Previous mechanic on that car, right, the one that they got the free diagnosis from, told them they had to replace all 4 oxygen sensors. I don't know where he got that from. So this is the customer that was, you know, adamant about not paying my diagnostic fee and really reminding me multiple times that other mechanics do it for free. They'll do the diagnostic fee for free if you do the job with them. Clearly my diagnosis is worth more than that other mechanics that diagnosed it for free, right? You know, take that with what you will. I'm going to charge a diagnosis fee regardless. If you guys think I should or I shouldn't, please comment that down below. But with that being said, we are done for the day. I am now going to grab some lunch, pick up my daughter from school, and continue on with life. Thank you for watching, especially if you got this far. Please like, please subscribe. Have a good one.
Writing in the margins of my mind all day, sipping herbal in the morning just to feel okay. Had a dream I was water just flowing through space till I